Forspoken had failed. Only a month after release and Square Enix had written it off as a failure. Luminous Productions is now dissolved, and its staff all now work internally at Square Enix. I do feel bad for the consumers that enjoyed this game and wanted to see it get a fair chance. At least they will get their DLC. But what I found so strange is that there are certain YouTubers that made multiple videos about Forspoken when it released, but for some reason, they never ended up making a video when its studio folded. And it fell pretty damn fast. I am talking about Melonie, Yellowflash, HeelvsBabyface, Ryan Kinel, and I'm sure there are more. I have to think this is front-page news within the gaming industry. Square Enix is a AAA publisher. Luminous Production played a big role in Final Fantasy XV's development. Forspoken was a highly anticipated game, and it caught many people's attention, both for the right as well as the wrong reasons. Why I identify these four is that the three male YouTubers are very close-knit with Melonie and simp for her and know her on a personal level. Let's call this collective of people the boycott brigade, because for the most part these people just want entertainment to go extinct and call anything woke these days for no reason. I do not defend wokeism. But if you see an influencer constantly call something woke for the sake of calling it woke, do not take them seriously. So I have to think that this is a coordinated decision among this circle of people, the boycott brigade, to not cover this story, just like mainstream media and their coordination on refusing to cover stories. And they have covered Forspoken before. I'm not sure on Heel, but I'm sure he has covered video games before, and of course he is one of her lapdogs, so why aren't they all talking about Luminous Productions going away? That is so odd. You know why these people aren't talking about Luminous Productions and Forspoken anymore? I'll tell you why. Because Forspoken and Luminous Productions suffered a worse fate than Tomb Raider and Crystal Dynamics. That's why. Making a video on this story would completely destroy their narrative about how Tomb Raider is the biggest failure Square Enix ever produced. Because Crystal Dynamics didn't get dissolved. They're moving on to the next Tomb Raider game. If these YouTubers would talk about that, they would know that they backed themselves into a corner, because here they're trying to indoctrinate their viewers into believing Tomb Raider lost them a bunch of money after 3 games, and here comes this new IP that causes its studio to fold just after a month after the release of their very first game. Tomb Raider is a very successful and valuable IP. I don't allow my politics or some talking YouTube head to cloud my judgment on what I should and should not appreciate. The reboot trilogy sold more than 38 million copies. That is amazing. Even if each game was priced at just $15 from the start, they still would have easily broke even. What I also recently learned, no thanks to these so-called truth seekers, was that the movie from 2018 made MGM close to $40 million. That's not a big profit to a giant company like MGM or Amazon, but that is not a failure, and people who called it a failure are lying to you. A lot of things have not gone right with Square Enix over recent years. Luminous Production isn't the only studio of theirs that went belly up after just one game. And I do find it very questionable how practically the only thing that had gone right for them, they sold it away. That doesn't make sense. I can anticipate some people jump into the comments section and say that Melonie telling these YouTubers to not cover the collapse of Luminous Production a conspiracy. That does sound crazy. So why aren't they all covering it? If you also find this fishy, ask Melonie when she uploads a new video, ask her how come she didn't make a video about it. I personally would want to ask this to Ms. Censorship is evil and nobody deserves to be silenced, but if you don't know already, it's a long story.